Hello, and welcome back to the Muscles and Mindset Revolution, the podcast for ambitious women who want to build strength, feel confident AF, and lose fat for good without counting calories or BS quick fixes. I'm your host, Ann Jones, certified life coach, personal trainer, and mindset expert. After 15 plus years in the fitness industry, I know the real key to lasting change isn't just what you do, it's how you think. If you're ready to shift your mindset, build a lifestyle you love, and feel confident AF, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. Welcome back to the show. Today's episode is all about ditching the hustle mindset that so many of us get stuck in and stepping into a way of living that feels effortless and flowing. This is actually going to be our theme the entire month of March. I'm so excited to share this with you because I know what a game changer it can be. And I totally get it, right? So many of us think that we need to do more, have more willpower, more motivation, or simply try harder when we're not getting what we want, the result that we want, the amount of money that we want, whatever it is that we want, right? But here's the thing that changed everything for me and changes this for my clients. And it might just change everything for you too. Willpower and hustle are not the problem. The way you've been taught to approach success is the problem. This episode is going to break down why traditional hustle strategies fail, how to shift from forcing results to flowing into them, and I'm going to give you a powerful mindset shift to make everything feel easier. And before we get into the mindset shift that is going to make everything feel easier, I want to remind you that this is exactly what we're doing inside Flow. If you are ready to stop forcing and start seeing results in a way that feels effortless, you're going to love this. It's 8 weeks of live coaching with me, my 5-step flow formula, and a private community off social media of women who are done with burnout. Doors are going to be opening on March 20th for people on the waitlist. So get on the waitlist now with the link in the show notes. Let's get into it. Okay, so I want to begin by saying that hustle has a place, okay? So we're talking about a couple of different things here. When I say hustle, I mean doing with an expectation of worthiness. You know, Brene Brown calls it hustling for your worthiness. Doing things to be seen, doing things for validation, doing things for other people with the expectation, consciously or subconsciously, that then you will be okay. You will be appreciated. You will be of value. You will be enough if you just do all of these things, get this result, look this certain way, do all these things for other people, get recognized, make a certain amount of money. That's what I mean by hustling. Okay. So, and I will explain why that's an endless, never-ending chore. I also want to acknowledge that there is room for what I like to call the holy hustle. Okay, so the holy hustle is putting in work. Hustling and working are not the same. Working hard and hustling are not the same. I call the holy hustle like when you gotta get down in business and, maybe you still have a smile on your face, you're working your butt off, you're getting up at 5 a.m. This is not forever though, because it's not sustainable. The holy hustle is a period, it's a phase, it's a season where you have to put in work for a result. You want something, you got to do the work. The hustling that we are talking about moving away from is the kind of hustling, the kind of doing that we do with an expectation that we are not okay with ourselves unless we do X, Y, and Z. That's the kind of hustle that we're talking about. I'm only content if I've been recognized, appreciated, and valued by other people. I am only okay if I look a certain way or hit a certain weight. Then I'll be okay. That's hustling for our worthiness. And so the reason that that's never ending is because it never ends. I said this to a one-on-one client the other day who I was coaching around some relationship stuff, and she went into a conversation with her partner with an expectation, and she came out of the conversation saying it went better than ever before, but I still don't feel completely loved and valued. And I get this because I have felt that way before. And here's what I need you to know about that. And this is exactly what I said to her. Other people can certainly express appreciation, love, and recognition for us, but whether you feel valued is ultimately up to you. If you don't believe that you are worthy or valuable, no amount of external validation will truly make you feel it. And that is why hustling for your worthiness is a never-ending task. It's never enough. It's never enough if you do not feel valued and worthy. When we're continually collecting and looking for it from other people, it can never end. And on the other hand, if you deeply value yourself, you don't need constant reassurance to feel secure. Like I said a moment ago, it's nice, right? It's nice to be appreciated, loved, and recognized. But whether you feel valued is up to you. So while external validation can be nice and affirming, real self-worth and feeling valued come from within. It is about what you believe about yourself, not just what others say, which is why I like to coach on the level of the thought, because that dictates how you feel, not the number on the scale. The number on the scale, you allow to dictate how you feel because you have a thought about it. You continue to keep thinking that thought until it becomes a belief. It makes you feel some kind of way. And then you connect the number on the scale with how you feel, which is the case for everything. Your body, how we show up in the world in every way. So I wanted to make really clear what kind of hustling we're talking about. Sometimes the holy hustle is required. That's how all my high achieving clients got to where they are, right? Is by doing a little holy hustle. And usually it's not sustainable long term. It's a period, a phase, a thing that you got to do for a while to get what you want, what you desire. I don't even like to use the word want. It feels very needy. So let's talk about why those traditional hustle strategies fail. So hopefully you understand why hustling for your worthiness is a never-ending task, because I just explained, unless you feel valued, it never ends. We're just always looking for validation and worthiness. And so when we're talking about, hustling, let's talk about the all or nothing cycle, because hustling and all or nothing are very connected, very connected. The all part of all or nothing is hustling, right? We're hustling to get that result, to be recognized. We're all in, we're super intense about it. And then when it's not sustainable, as all or nothing never is, then we perceive it as a failure. And then we're reluctant to even get started because it's not a failure until you decide it's a failure. And then you've made it mean something about you. And this becomes a cycle that keeps you trapped. So then you're so tied up in the result, the failure that you think that you had, it makes it much harder to get going again. Enter the nothing period, right? Until you recoup. And then you get the quote unquote motivation and willpower to go back into the all of the all or nothing. And then you start hustling until you can't anymore. And if you haven't already heard my episode on all or nothing, go back and listen to episode 2, but here's the gist of it. For example, you commit to a super strict nutrition plan, right? A diet, workouts, maybe waking up at 5 a.m. to do whatever. You start strong. You are feeling motivated. You're doing all the things, right? This is how every person starts. I'm doing all the things. And then life happens. Work gets busy. The kids get sick. You miss a workout. Or like some real life examples that have happened to my clients very recently, your husband gets a chunk of wood in his eye and then you're like down a person, you're taking him to the emergency, you're taking him to the ophthalmologist. You find out your partner, was going behind your back. You lose a parent. You don't have a contract renewed for your job. Injure yourself. All of these things are real. And if your hustle is connected with your being okay, then when one of those things happen, you think, what's the point? And you fall off track. I call this the push, crash, burn cycle. Push, crash, burn. Motivation is not designed to last. It's not designed to last in your brain. That's why dopamine is a hit. It is a short burst. And when you try to keep it going forever and ever, it's very discouraging when life doesn't go perfectly, as life never does. And then you blame yourself, you feel guilty. And then again, like I said, you have to recoup and try again next week. And this is exactly why I created Flow. Flow is my upcoming 8-week mindset coaching course, because I know what it is like to be stuck in this cycle. I know what it is like thinking that the answer is to try harder. But the truth is, when you learn how to create success from alignment instead of force, everything changes. So if this is resonating with you and you're tired of pushing so hard without seeing the results you want, get on the waitlist for Flow. The link will be in the show notes. No more burnout, no more all or nothing, just real sustainable progress in a way that actually feels good. And I was just telling my clients this last week on our group call. We were doing a group call on getting back on track because that is a hot topic. And as I was walking with my dog, I was thinking about what I was going to say to my clients on this topic. And I was trying to put myself in the position of feeling off track. And I couldn't do it. In my many past years, I was like, I don't feel off track in any way. I never feel off track. Now, hear me say this is not because I do everything perfectly or I have more willpower or motivation than you or I'm doing all the things all the time. It's because I never perceive a blip or a change in direction as falling off track. Ever, ever, ever. There's never in my recent memory been a time that I ate a meal, missed a workout, got sick, got injured, had to deal with something, traveled, where I was like, I'm off track and I'm going to get back on track. Not in any aspect of my personal life, like my health, my fitness, even like parenting. I can't think of anything where I've been like, I'm off track. I need to get back on track. The only time I think I could ever see myself being pulled into this is with a habit, like getting up early or posting every day or something like that. And even then, I do not beat myself up about those things. I literally just think about what is the next action that's going to, and I don't even use the words on track and off track. Cool. What am I going to do next? Okay, yeah, like I haven't really posted in a while. Should probably do that. So like I'll make a plan and I'll do it next week. And then if I don't do it next week, I'm like, cool. I look at that. I'm like, oh, is that unrealistic? Or do I need to reassess? Or do I need a different like system for doing this? I'm constantly reassessing. I don't think of it as off track and on track. This is life. If I want to feel the way that I want to feel, which is calm, peaceful, excited, balanced, present, it's a constant reassessment. And so at the end of the week, I'm not like, oh, I missed all these goals. I'm like, okay, what worked? First of all, what are my wins? What worked? What didn't work? What am I going to change? What am I going to keep the same? That's it. It's a clinical assessment of what happened the past week. I do not make it mean anything about me, which is, I think, the difference between constantly being in a cycle of off track and on track. It is all in the mind. It's not because you don't have enough motivation or willpower. It is because you are in all or nothing perfectionist thinking and you are buying into the belief that there is such a thing as off track and on track. So, what if instead of forcing results through brute willpower and hustling through burnout, what if things could feel easier? This is exactly why I created Flow. Flow is my upcoming 8-week mindset coaching course because I know what it is like to be stuck in this cycle. When you learn how to create success from alignment instead of force, everything changes. So if this is resonating with you and you're tired of pushing so hard without seeing the results you want, get on the waitlist for Flow. The link will be in the show notes. We're going to break out of this cycle for good. No more burnout, no more all or nothing, just real sustainable progress in a way that actually feels good. Imagine your next step in your journey always felt clear, always felt natural, even easy. This is the difference between forcing results and flowing into them. Forcing looks like what we just talked about, beating yourself up when you're not perfect. And forcing yourself looks like ignoring your body's cues because you still think that you should do X, Y, or Z. Just as an example, women are likely the only species on Earth who asks whether they should eat or not eat, or say I shouldn't eat that. Like other creatures are not walking around saying like, should I eat that? Asking other people whether they are hungry. They're just like, oh, I'm hungry. Cool, I'm full. So I just want you to see that that is also in your head, not in your crazy way, you've been conditioned to question everything about your body and your intuition. So that's forcing. It's forcing yourself to do things, eat things, not eat things on a schedule because someone else said so. That's forcing. Forcing looks through hustling through burnout because no excuses. Push, 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 push. Fall down dead at the end of the day, the week, or, the project, but at least you get a gold star for not quitting, for pushing through. Flowing looks like listening to your body and brain, working with your body and brain, not against your body and brain. Focusing on dial movers, what really works, minimum effective dose. You are busy. You don't need to be doing all the things perfectly. You need to be doing the highest potency thing consistently. Minimum effective dose. Flowing looks like creating success without burning yourself out. This means opting out of the belief that you don't have a choice. This means taking personal accountability and responsibility for everything in your life. Stepping out of victim position. And here's the key takeaway. When it comes to our bodies, flow is about moving with your body's natural rhythms instead of against them. So in the way of eating, of in moving, of in sleeping, and we all have those, but we're mostly just so out of touch with them because we're moving so fast. We're hustling that we can't feel them. We can't hear them. So what if it didn't have to feel so hard? Here's a mindset shift for you that will make everything easier. What if getting leaner, getting stronger, being more confident didn't have to feel like a struggle? What if it felt easy? What if it felt clear and aligned with who you are right now? What if instead of fighting yourself, you knew exactly how to move forward in a way that felt good? The truth is, it is not about trying harder. It's not about willpower. It's about learning how to flow into success and stop forcing it. That's exactly what we're diving into today. Sneak peek of the flow formula. The flow formula is exactly what I will be teaching inside my upcoming 8-week course, Flow, which is starting on April 3rd. So here's how you can start applying the flow formula to make achieving your goals easy and sustainable. So the first thing that we do in flow is get fully in tune with your vision. So I do this by doing a guided visualization with my clients, but you can do it on your own. You can journal it out. You can do some scripting. First, I would have you choose what area of your life you would like to focus on. Is it your health, finances, your career, your relationships, your physical environment? And then take some time to reflect. What is your ideal vision in this area? If it were me, I would get into a quiet space and envision I want to be in that area, and then I would journal about it. I would write it down as if I was already living it. What do you want to achieve, but make it feel effortless? So that's step one, is knowing what it is that you desire, seeing your vision. And if you are a client or have ever been a client, you know that I'm big on goal setting, not in a strict way, in a you have to know how you want to feel and why you want to feel that way. Because that is what compels you. We are not compelled by pant sizes or numbers on a scale or numbers of money. Those things are literally meaningless. We assign meaning to them because we think that it will make us feel some kind of way. So you have to connect to how you want to feel, be, and see yourself. And then step two is to ask for guidance and surrender the outcome. I know it sounds like kind of woo-woo. It is kind of woo-woo. But you have to ask yourself, what do I need guidance on right now? Because again, we're all running around thinking that it's just that we need more motivation, more willpower, more discipline, and it's not. It's about coming into your body and asking yourself, okay, what do I actually need right now? What do I need guidance around? And then saying to yourself, I'm ready to receive guidance, and I surrender the outcome. This releases the pressure. And when there's no pressure, you're less likely to push and hustle. You are more likely to trust that the guidance will come. So the second reflection is, what are you willing to surrender control over this week? Write it down. It might be what your husband does, what that person at work does, what happens on the scale, what happens in the gym. Surrender control over it. Write it down. And then step 3 is to receive that guidance. So I want you to notice how your body feels when you're thinking and talking about your goals. Are there gut feelings? Are there subtle cues? I can literally, now that I'm in tune with my body, think about a person, a situation, an app, a task, and I'll have a feeling in my body. And I know what that is. And it doesn't mean that I'm going to avoid it, but I'm just like, oh yeah, okay, I know I'm feeling what this is. And it guides me towards the next best step. Notice synchronicities and signs. Notice how you feel. What do you notice in your surroundings, in yourself, in your body? Step 4 is to interpret and act. So once you feel what your intuition is telling you, take a moment to just listen. Okay, what have I been asking for guidance on? Is it how to proceed in this relationship? What to do about this job or this move? And then what is my guidance, my gut inviting me to do? What is one small action that you can take to align with this guidance? If you're getting a gut feeling, it doesn't mean that you're going to make a big decision without thinking about it, but what's one little thing that you can try on? It might be looking something up, reading something, having a conversation. And then step 5 is to notice and celebrate the micro evolutions, because success doesn't always look big. In fact, When you're consistently taking small actions, it doesn't feel or look big at all. I run into this with our clients inside Muscles and Mindset all the time. And most of them are trained now, so they know. So they will repeat a habit as a win, even if they've done it for 2 months in a row, because it's still a win. That is the win. You know, we get to a place where we're like, oh, that's normal for me now. And so that's not a celebration. That's not a success. It's not a win anymore. But that is the win, is that you've been so freaking consistent with it that it's normal for you now. That is what ease feels like. It's not sexy or loud. It's quiet, consistent, and subtle until it is a normal part of your life. People say to me that I'm so lucky that I'm motivated and fit and all of this. And it's like, no, I just made it normal. So it's not a big deal. And then not working out is not a big deal. And then eating a burger is not a big deal. Like, none of it is a big deal because I have been moving towards the woman that I want to be for so long, so slowly. So what small win can you celebrate this week, and how will you honor it? All or nothing thinking doesn't want you to celebrate the small wins. Your negative brain saying like, that's not enough, it's not enough, but let it be enough and then build on it again and again until it is huge. That is how it works. I want you to leave today's episode knowing one thing. Success doesn't have to feel hard. It can feel fun and easy. When you trust yourself and you trust your flow, it becomes a natural, sustainable part of your journey. It becomes who you are. And isn't that what you want? You want to be a confident person. You want to be a fit woman. You want to be happy and peaceful and joyful. You can't do that if you're always in hustle and push. All right, so we've talked about why willpower and hustle are not the answer. And I hope you're starting to see that it's not about doing more. It's about doing things differently. And that is exactly what we're working on inside of Flow. So if you are tired of pushing and not seeing results, I would love to have you inside. Get on the waitlist via the link in the show notes and be the first to know when doors open. Plus, you'll get a bonus for being on the waitlist. Next week, we're going to dive deeper into breaking the all or nothing cycle and talk about more actionable steps about what really works for effortless, lasting success. See you next week.